Do you think street dance is becoming too commercial?
I think it depends on the street dance.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I can say a lot about this topic.
I think it's tough. I feel like the spaces are not as out there as what they used to be.
I would say not yet. I feel like there's stuff that is hinting towards us going into that direction.
There are street dances that are becoming too commercial.
I feel like everybody wants to teach a class. Like somebody said, just because you can dance doesn't mean you can really teach her class.
Clock it.
But I also have realized that commercial is something that no style can hide from. If you look at like we were speaking about now, the peaks and valleys of certain styles, most peaks come from being commercial or it ends up being commercial. Most dips come from it being very isolated and very focused on what it is.
We might be looking at, okay, we need to do something on stage versus, okay, let's just go to the skate park and just jam for the sake of jamming.
To get it out there, you mean? Like bring awareness to street dance. It would benefit to put ourselves on a commercial stage, perhaps?
Yeah, but as long as we don't look at that as the goal.
You'll see the street dance culture in and of itself it's sometimes struggling. That's why I'm saying there's a pros and cons of everything, because yeah, we're struggling, but it's because we still have that rawness. There's that minority that's still fighting for, no, we're not gonna...
Obviously, there's a space for us to be visible, but we do that. We inform who's watching what's actually happening. Not waiting for them to be like, okay, no, we like what you're doing, and then do that for them. It's us doing the thing, put it out there, and then let them accept that as is.
I think street dance has become a place for people to explore their creativity, whether it is them being commercial or it is them trying new things.
I feel like we are losing the freedom of doing whatever in studios and...
But it's almost like street dance is like, it's coming up. Like the street dance underground scene is slowly moving up.
I appreciate everybody that dances from my point of view. So even the TikTok guys, for me, as long as you're moving, because social media isn't geared towards watching dances, it's geared towards sounds, it's geared towards music. If you use a certain songs, you will get views, so it's not really about the dance.
It's just also sad that when you see a dancer really, really giving their all on TikTok, and people on TikTok are going, you're doing too much. And I'm like, what is that?
You try to do this because I think on TikTok everybody's moves are so like diluted and it's like they don't want to sweat, and then ask them to come to a class. I don't know who's gonna hear. Sometimes those are the people that actually do the teaching. Yeah. Anyway, it's just at the end of the day, there's so much more than just what you see on TikTok. And if you expand yourself, you can do that on TikTok and more.
So if you're moving, I appreciate whatever you do. It isn't about being commercial. It has a season. We will dance through a season, but everything resets. Old school hip hop will come back, locking will come back, breaking will come back, house will come back, and then Amapiano will fall to the bottom of the list. And then at some point, people will appreciate it again.
This is a much bigger conversation that needs to be had. We need a culture conversation, by the way. But
Okay.
I will raise this point there, but in a nutshell, I'll say no, not necessarily, not yet. There's still a lot of rawness in the street dance community.
I think it's more also that there's underground movements happening. People in the underground, and they know not to commercialize it. They understand what culture means. So we keep it underground.
But I will also add that on that, the pros again with commercial is not full-time in the dance industry. Me, myself, I would love people in the dance industry dancing full-time. And also young kids coming up, or anybody coming up, doesn't have to be young kids now. I want them to be able to sustain a life within dance. So it's a much bigger conversation needs to be had, because the commercial is putting money in people's pockets, the side of things. So,
And that's the tea. Dankie Leroy, dankie Tarzan. We out.